First Lady Melania Trump firing back at that anonymous New York Times op-ed writer, claiming he's part of a movement in the White House to resist Trump. Here's the First Lady. Quote, to the writer of that op-ed, you're not protecting this country. You're sabotaging it with your cowardly actions. Unidentified sources have become the majority of the voices people hear about in today's news. People with no names are writing our nation's history. Words are important. Accusations can lead to severe consequences. If a person is bold enough to accuse people of negative actions, they have a responsibility to publicly stand by their words, and people have the right to be able to defend themselves. This, as the list of senior White House officials denying that they wrote it continues to grow. Let's take it right to House Judiciary Committee member, Republican Rep. Andy Biggs. Congressman, is the First Lady right?
Yes, of course she's right. I mean, what's going on here is typical character assassination, and actually circling back around to this 25th Amendment argument that my friends on the other side of the aisle were making about 8 months ago. It's really outrageous, but you know what it really shows? If anybody actually wrote this and it wasn't some fabricated piece by the New York Times, if somebody really wrote this, they have the same God complex that we saw in the highest levels of DOJ and FBI, who are going to protect us from Donald Trump. That's that God complex that doesn't seem to work.
And Congressman, the New York Times saying it had to confirm who this individual, this writer was. That indicates he was not known to the New York Times. They used the word confirmed there. You know, giving anonymity to a source is one thing, Congressman, but granting anonymity to an op-ed contributor, it's quite a different thing. So does this put the New York Times brand at risk of more of a tabloid feel? Are we supposed to just trust by not verifying the New York Times and just believe whatever they put out there?
No, I think that they're kind of like some of our other supermarket stand newspapers at this point. I really think that they're not trustworthy anymore, which is why you're seeing people flee newspapers. And all that's left is the New York Times. The Arizona paper is dying, and this is what we're seeing across the country. It's because they do things like this, and even though this was an op-ed, there's no basis for it. There's no way anybody can check. There's no way anybody can actually respond to this thing. It's like having to prove a negative, and when that happens, your credibility goes down. And so I think the veracity of the New York Times is basically taken a real turn for the worse, quite frankly.
Next case, let's get on to this story, to the big reveal, the big gotcha that wasn't. A nothing burger it was. Democrat Senator Cory Booker made it seem like he was releasing so-called secret Kavanaugh emails when Mr. Kavanaugh, Judge Kavanaugh, worked in the George W. Bush administration. Cooker basically was painting it like he was doing it in defiance of Senate rules. Take a watch.
I'm going to release the email about racial profiling, and I understand that the penalty comes with potential ousting from the Senate. I openly invite and accept the consequences of my team releasing that email right now. And I'm releasing it to expose that, number one, the emails that are being withheld from the public have nothing to do with national security.
Running for president is no excuse for violating the rules of the Senate or of the confidentiality of the documents that we are privy to. I hope that the senator will reconsider his decision, because no senator deserves to sit on this committee or serve in the Senate, in my view, if they decide to be a law unto themselves and willingly flout the rules of the Senate and the determination of confidentiality.
Take a look at this statement to Fox News by President Bush's records representative who oversaw the release of these documents. Quote, we cleared the documents last night shortly after Senator Booker's staff asked us to. We were surprised to learn about Senator Booker's histrionics this morning because we had already told him he could use the documents publicly. In fact, we have said yes to every request made by the Senate Democrats to make documents public. So Senator Booker knew the documents were clear when he implied that he was breaking Senate rules. Congressman, these emails were not confidential. Is he just putting on a show to try to get elected?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, talk about veracity being in shreds. That's what's happened here. I mean, in two folds. I mean, for him to say, oh, I'm running this tremendous risk of being ousted from this body. Holy mackerel. I mean, what you've got here is a guy who's trying to campaign. And you're going to have people on the left say, oh, he's some kind of brave crusader. But what he is a brazen, prevaricator, if I can put it that way. I mean, this is not true, what he said. And even the documents that you looked at, what I've seen of them, I don't see what the big
let's get to that.
was.
Stay on that for a second, because there's an attempt. Critics are saying Booker and the Democrats are trying to, quote, bork Judge Kavanaugh. This racial profiling debate. Here's the email in question. It looks like this is a non-issue too. Kavanaugh wrote White House officials about programs protecting against terror a month before 9/11, saying, quote, the people who favor some use of race or national origin obviously do not need to grapple with the interim question. But the people such as you and I, who generally favor effective security measures that are race neutral, in fact, do need to grapple, and grapple now, with the interim question of what to do before a truly effective and comprehensive race-neutral system is developed and implemented. Okay, Congressman, Judge Kavanaugh clearly says he prefers a race-neutral system, showing a racial bias. Congressman, we don't know why Booker did this. Also, the other emails Booker disclosed, they came within months of 9/11, when a serious national debate on profiling was going on at that time. Even New York Democrats were talking about, yes, do profiling for terrorists.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so it tells me that maybe he can't read or comprehend what he's read, because what Judge Kavanaugh said there is, he was saying, look, we want to get to race-neutral investigatory techniques. And he's supporting race neutrality, and they're trying to flip it on its head altogether. This is the kind of a cattywampus type of view that really it shreds your integrity. I mean, people say, well, you know, do we really want this guy to run for president? He's obviously out there trying to sensationalize everything he can, instead of actually getting to the facts, which is that Judge Kavanaugh is not just a great jurist, he's a great human being.
Today probably marks the most important moment yet in President Trump's trade dispute with China. It could involve the U.S. slapping tariffs on all of China's goods coming into the U.S. Congressman, where does this end? Who blinks first?
Well, I tend to believe that China's going to have to blink first. Hopefully, what we're going to get to is sooner rather than later is an agreement. I believe China's got some real problems. They can't feed their own people. If we take soybeans as a great example, they can't cobble enough soybeans to feed their people. They have to come back to the table, to the United States. I think they're going to keep coming back to the table, and I think we should let them come back to the table, and let's resolve this thing through some negotiations sooner rather than later.